aggressive sideband EQ here. Yeah, so we're just down on 45 talking about the LDMOS devices. How many creamers? Yeah, there you go. A little bit at a time, you'll get adjusted to it. I tried over the years going to black coffee, and I just can't hack it. I use a little bit of cream. I quit sugar way back, and but I just can't stop. Can't stop at least some of the half and half. Well, that's good. I find coffee suppresses my appetite. Like when I get up in the morning, I'm really hungry. But if I just wait till I start going into my big mug of coffee, about halfway through, I'm really not that hungry anymore. So I really hold off on that, food right away, until I'm up for a couple hours and it's time to, finally eat something. So I find coffee is somewhat of an appetite suppressant, because of the caffeine. Make sure you see in that app that you drink plenty of water. I fill up a quart or a liter of water container every morning because I can't keep track of like how many glasses I have or anything like that. So I fill up that thing and I make sure by the end of the day I finish it. Now I'll have additional water, but I want to make sure that that liter is empty at the end of the day, because you'll notice in the app there's a place in there you could add water glasses,
Honestly, I didn't even notice. Let me, hold on. See, I got that case of water, though, so I've been drinking a lot more water. And I knew once I got that case of water, it would help me out with staying hydrated and so on and so forth. I'm almost like 3/4 of the way through that case of water already.
Yeah, well, there you go. And that helps with your appetite suppression also, that drinking the water.
I've been choosing the water over soda. I got 4 2-liters here, man, and I got a brand new one in the fridge. And I think I have 1 cup out of it, and I've had it in there for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, there you go. So, just get used to it, change your lifestyle around a little bit, then it becomes second nature afterwards, and you're not using a lot of your calories during the day with empty calories that don't do any good, like sugar, like all those creamers, that's not like really food, you know what I mean? And it leaves you plenty of calories banked up that you could eat stuff,
Right. No, you're right. They're empty calories. They're bad. It's not necessarily. I guess not necessarily. Well, I guess it is bad for you. It's definitely not good for you. It's just taking up room and space in your diet and your calorie diet there to. You could be fueling your body with something good to make you feel good rather than wasting calories and making yourself feel crappy.
Let me tell you something. I don't know, the worst thing that anybody could possibly get, and it's epidemic today, is diabetes.
Right.
you get that, once your blood sugar goes up to that level, it's irreversible. No matter what, you can't get rid of it. And, being overweight and not exercising is the major cause of that. And once you get that, you're severely restricted about what you can eat for the rest of your life. And if you don't follow that, that's where what happens is the health effects. You can lose your eyesight. You end up getting limbs amputated. I mean, it's the worst possible disease that you can ever get.
Yeah, I know. I hear it's pretty vicious, man. And then eventually, like, you have to go, your kidneys will fail, right? You go to dialysis and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's if you don't follow your diet. But the problem is, who wants to get to the point that you get that? Then you can't eat other stuff. Even you can't eat those things that you love to eat, even in moderation. So you just can't ever eat them anymore. And that's a real problem. So you're better off, taking care of yourself early so you never get that. And then you could eat what you want to eat, in moderation, and you're not banned from eating it ever again.
Well, that's the thing, man. You don't want to be restricted to where you can't eat it. You're not allowed, And I know, I don't know firsthand, but I have a couple friends whose parents are diabetic. Like my buddy John, I used to be real close with. His mom recently passed away from different, complications attributed to diabetes, and she had her leg amputated. And back when I first met her, her leg was already amputated, from diabetes, and she was basically like bedridden from diabetes and real poor circulation. Your feet are real swollen. You swell up like a fucking balloon. And she ended up passing away from it, man.
Well, like I said, that's one of the worst things you can get, because once you have it, you can't get rid of it. You've got it, and that's it, period.
Honestly, now, like, when I eat, because I've been eating, like, a lot of sweets for, like, a really long time. Not a really long time, but, more sweets than the normal person probably for the past couple years, Not, like, at a level where, oh, my God, it's going to give me diabetes, but you never know. But anyway, now, like, every time I eat something sweet, I'm thinking about, like, if I'm going to give myself diabetes or not. Honest to God, man. Because somebody told me the same stuff as you were just telling me, man. That, like, sunk in my head. I don't know if it was you. It might have been you before, because you were telling me how nasty it was before. And it was just kind of sunk in and stuck with me, man. Now every time I feel guilty every time I eat a sweet, thinking I'm going to give myself diabetes.
It's not just sweets. Carbohydrates turn into sugar in your body. So, a normal person that's of normal weight and that keeps himself in shape can eat, carbs, pasta, bread, and all the rest of the stuff, if you keep in shape. But problem is if you get overweight, because your body turns carbs into sugar. So if you get type 2 diabetes, which is totally lifestyle related, you can't eat carbs. You got to control the amount of carbs that you eat, and carbs are in everything. That means you can't eat bread. You got to really restrict how much bread you eat. It's not just sweets like cookies. I mean, your body turns regular carbohydrates into sugar.
Didn't even think about that.
So
that's
got to think about all that stuff. Of course, if you go to the doctor regularly and they monitor you get blood tests and they monitor your glucose level, but it's all related. Nobody gets type 2 diabetes if they have a normal weight. It's totally lifestyle caused.
Now, aren't some people born diabetic?
That's type 1. Now, if you're type 1, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to be on medication for the rest of your life. It's almost like two separate diseases. So type 1 you're born with. Type 2 is caused by lifestyle.
Right. I used to know people in school growing up who were diabetic, and I'm guessing it was type 1 and it was hereditary, But yeah, I don't know. I am scared of that. I don't know, man. Like between you and Lakin and my mother-in-law, like, it's just like, or ex-mother-in-law, it's just, I don't know. You guys have been scaring me kind of into submission here, So I don't know. I don't want to die, at a young age. I'm 31, and I want to live till I'm 81.
I just look at exercise is very, very important, and I look at exercise. That's my medication. Exercise is my medication. I mean, most days, I feel like walking 3 miles. I feel like spending an hour on that exercise bike, or in the summertime, it's real hot. I go, but I got to keep it up, man. It's like taking my pills.
You don't take any pills?
No, I don't. I'm fortunate because I really work at it. So I say my exercise is my medication. At 67, maybe eventually I'll have to be on medication. I don't know, but I'm trying to ward it off as long as I can, if at all possible. And that's it. It becomes a habit, Perry. I mean, lifestyle becomes a habit, and like with the food and the scale and the exercise, it's just part of my routine. If I can't devote half an hour to an hour a day of exercise, I mean, I got a problem because, I mean, there's a lot of hours in the day.
No, you're right. I got you. See, my thing is I got to find that something that I like to do physical. I hate running. I absolutely hate running, okay? I don't like walking. I don't mind walking, okay? I should say that. But I do like ice skating, and I do like, playing hockey, and I know I got to be careful about getting hurt and stuff because, I got to go to work and all that. But even if I just go public skating once or twice, a few times a week and just get in there and, work myself out a little bit, it's better than nothing.
Well, yeah, anything is better than nothing, but that costs money. You got to get in a vehicle, you got to drive, you got to go there. You got to make it easy. That's why a lot of people that join the gym, you never end up going because it's too much trouble. You get yourself a treadmill or something, and just when you get up in the morning or when you get home from work or whatever, you spend half an hour on the treadmill. You have it set up. You watch television, and you get on and you do it. You got to get your heart rate up and keep your heart rate up for a half hour to an hour.
Right. Yeah, well, something to look into, man. Maybe I can, I don't know, maybe my fat ass can borrow one of your bikes one time and we could go for a bike ride. KC3JVE.
W2SDR. What don't you like about walking? What's there not to like about it?
I don't know. I don't like walking by myself. I don't know. I don't know. I just get in my head.
I put my earbuds in. I got a nice lots of different playlists. I put the earbuds in, and especially if the playlist lasts like an hour, it takes about an hour to do a 3-mile walk that I do. And I put that on, and man, before you know it, like you're home and it's under your belt.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you look at it that way, Mr. Super athlete. I don't know. I just gotta slowly but surely. I'm trying to get on track here, and it's take it a day at a time.
Yeah, you sounded good this morning, and I was down on 45 talking to them guys and LD Moss stuff and everything, and just went to bed early again last night, 7:30 or so, and Ernie texted me around 5. I guess he's has thunderstorms, so I guess he woke me up actually. Starting to sleep a lot better at night and without any help, and probably drinking more martinis than I should. For a while there, I went almost 10 years without even having any alcohol.
I know. It was weird to me when you started drinking again, and just growing up, and from everything that I could ever remember, you never drank, ever. I mean, you'd have a beer here and there at dinner or something down the shore, or at dinner up here. But especially when you were together with Michelle, I never saw you drink.
Yeah, well, now I'm usually drunk every night.
Well, yeah, it's good. You were good at hiding. You were a top-notch addict right there, boy.
I'm only kidding. Well, it takes the edge off lately. I have 1 or 2 cocktails after dinner, and
Well, see, look, there's nothing wrong, 1, 2, maybe 3 cocktails a night, you know, as long as you're not waking up in the morning feeling terrible every day, as long as it's not affecting your health, as long as it's not affecting your everyday schedule, as long as it's not affecting you, mentally, physically, emotionally, you're fine.
No, it's, I'm up early every morning and...
Yeah, you're still up earlier than me and I don't even drink.
I'm not even hungover. I don't get hungover. I don't, get to that point. That's who wants to feel crappy, so.
Well, the thing is, I think a lot of that has to do with, number one, how healthy you are. Number two, you don't drink that much.
No, drink, at least no more than 1 bottle of gin a day.
There you go.
And I tell you, this last night was pretty cool being on the radio. And how about that guy break? Was it last night that guy broke in?
Nah, that was Tim in Alabama. You talking about?
Oh yeah, that's right. I got that was in my log from the other night.
A4TK was his call.
A TUT.
Wait, what?
Oh, it was, there was 2 guys. One guy you didn't hear. So, I'm bringing it up. N4TUT was last night. That's the guy you didn't hear. Now, look, I'm the one who was having martinis. Now, come on. And A2CX. K4TK, that was back on the 28th. Back on the 28th, we worked him.
Then you earlier, before he broke in, was K2FOX. It was over in Malaga, over in that area. And then there was K4N. There was another guy I talked to later. It was K4NYX.
I didn't FOX in my logbook. W2SDR
KC3JVE. I need to get a logbook program.
You can use, I think, if you want QRZ for a log, but the logging program that I use, now it's not free. I think you may be able to try it for free, but it's very popular and it's very simple to use. It's the amateur contact, N3FJP.com, N3FoxJulietPapa.com, and it works really, really good. It gives you beam headings and everything. You put your radio in there. It senses all of the virtual serial port program in your computer. It senses all the band information and frequency information. It all goes into the logging program automatically.
It has a built-in virtual serial port program?
No, but you need virtual serial port on your computer. Do you have that?
Oh, yeah, I have it.
Okay, so you just make up a pair like you did for the meter, just a separate serial port pair, and so all the band information and everything goes into the logging program automatically, frequency, band, everything, mode, all the info from your radio, and then once you put your longitude and latitude in the program, it tells you where to point your beam if you had a beam, and then you could point, and gets all the QRZ information, all the station's information from QRZ.
That's nuts. I'm looking at the website now. It's cheap. $25 ain't bad.
Oh yeah, the guy if you have a problem, man, he emails you right back if you have configuration. The only thing that makes it's a little slow getting the information from QRZ if you don't subscribe to QRZ. If you subscribe to QRZ, the band information goes in there instantly. So I subscribe to QRZ. I think it's not that much money.
I was going to subscribe, but I think I forgot to.
Well, the subscribe, it's a couple of things. I appreciate, the support them because you get all the information. Plus, it works really, really great with the logging program if you do subscribe. And the logging program keeps track of the countries you've talked to, how many states you've worked, It makes you remember if you worked a guy before, when's the last time you talked to him. It's pretty cool. I've been using it for years and years. I've got thousands of contacts in the logging program.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think maybe when I get when this money hits, I'll pick it up, but I can't do it now. I'm kind of real tight on money until that money hits, man.
Well, I am too, mainly because I don't. It's very complicated in my situation how much money I really do have and to spend. Because like I have to work out. I've been working out a whole new budget because like we were talking before, like responsibilities that you have to pay twice a year, 4 times a year, once a year. You plan those out on a monthly basis. So just because you have extra money in a month doesn't mean it's really extra money. It's money that's already earmarked for something,
Right.
So
I don't know, man. It's just
I look at it.
Oh boy.
Anything. I'd rather err on the side of hardly buying anything than see how it works out, rather than just go along like crazy and then you got a problem.
Yeah, that's how I am. I just want to make sure everything's paid, and as far as everything else, just don't buy anything. I don't need anything. The only thing I need is to go to the grocery store or occasionally some gas. And I'm not driving that much now, so basically, you just got to make sure my bills are paid.
I know it sounds stupid, but I wanted to get this little alarm clock so I could see the clock in the living room when I'm watching TV. And $10, you get this nice little one. It's on Amazon. So rather than order that, I had this clock radio in the closet, man. I mean, it's small and it's got a clock on it, so it didn't cost nothing. I just plug it in and I got a clock. I mean, it looks kind of weird there on the TV. Stand there having a clock radio, but it's a clock, and it's one less thing I hit to buy it now.
Yeah, who cares, man? I don't look that big. You see me a picture of it last night. It looks fine. It's the same shit I do, man. I'm cheap, dude. And I am cheap. Yeah, I know sometimes I'll go to I get a little rich, pocket rich there. You know what I'm saying? And go crazy on Amazon. But when it comes to like stuff like that, or fixing stuff around the house, or anything that I can save money on that isn't like hobby related or radio related or anything like that, like normal day-to-day stuff, I do. I cut corners on everything to try to save a little bit here and a little bit there, because there was so long where I didn't have money, you know what I mean, and I wasn't making money. I didn't make good money. I was struggling. I was homeless. I was living in my truck. I didn't have nothing, man. So now that I got a little something, I'm so afraid to not have any of it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm so afraid to not have any because I know what it feels like to not have anything. So it's a scary feeling. I don't ever want to feel that way again.
Well, see, I know in my situation, I can see your situation for sure, and I could identify with that to some degree, and what I'm going through here, I don't know when, how this thing is going to shake out, so I'm getting all my ducks in a row here with what, when, and I don't want to get into too many details on here, but I got plenty of time now to be get ready for it, so I'm getting all the ducks in a row for when it plays out, for who's going to buy who out and how that's going to work, so plenty of time to get that stuff squared away. The taxes, income taxes coming up and all that. After the first of the year, you start getting all that stuff in the mail, 1099s and all that. So be getting ready for file my taxes. I got to pay property taxes January 15th. The last of 4 property tax payments from this past year, 2018, $2,200
each.
It's $2,200 each, but property taxes here are $8,800 a year.
That's New Jersey for you, boy. And you know what sucks, man? Remember back when we first moved in, man, you're right under the nose for, right under the limit for having enough, right on sitting on the outside looking in is about as far as having enough land to get the damn tax break.
Well, yeah, to farm it, so I had to let that go. So
You have to have 6 acres of farmable land. Is that how that works?
5, and the problem is it was 5. I already had farmland assessment on this property once I bought it, but in order to keep it, see, I got that acre of woods in the back, and in order to be able to farm 5 acres and also live, I would have had to clear all them trees out. Because I didn't have 5 acres. I was just about a little short of 5 acres without clearing them trees. And then where are you going to put the house? I would have had corn right up to the front steps.
Yeah, okay, I remember that now. Man, that sucks, man. You're right there. I remember that. And I remember you were renting out the front for a little while at Elwell's, weren't you?
Yeah, just because, just to have him cut it down so to save me the trouble. But then the guy never showed up, man. He screwed me. I had about 4 foot tall out there. I had a hell of a time trying to mow it down.
Which one was the old man Elwell or one of the kids?
I don't know. The guy that lives across the street from the Pittsgrove School, Upper Pittsgrove School.
Right. Yeah. That's the Elwells.
Yeah, well, that never worked out.
That sucks.
Obviously, but
they're kind of weird family. I've known them for a long time.
Anyway, I only have about a little over a year, between a year and a half to the houses. The mortgage is paid off. So, and after that, all I got to do is pay the taxes. Now, if I split the taxes per month, it's $733 a month. Taxes. Now it sounds like a lot of money, but then if you don't have a mortgage, I mean, so it's like paying $733 a month to live in my house, which is cheap compared to what you could get for $733 a month if you rented something.
That's just over my rent.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I'd have to pay that for the rest of my life to live here, which, I don't know. I mean, if I lived in Upland, it would only probably be about $100 a month, but, I live here.
Right. Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess when milk goes to the big radio, the big Hamfest in the sky, you can buy that house back and live for cheap.
Well, my tax is only $1,200 a year when I lived there, but... I mean, I didn't have any property. I mean, it's a big difference between living there and living here. W2SDR.
Oh, I know. KC3JVE for ID. I don't know. I drive past that house probably once a week, man. I'll drive past there just for hell of it, and I die inside a little more every time I drive by. Just thinking how much, work you put into that. I couldn't even imagine how you feel about it, but, I know, but you're pretty chill and mellow about it. You probably don't even care anymore, but, that's a lot of work, man, that got put into that house that doesn't get used. It just sits there. And, I mean, that's, for a ham radio operator, that's like, it's not the most ideal location, but to be able to have what is on that property in the area, that it's in is, like a radio operator's dream.
I would definitely reach out. I mean, and see what's what. I don't like what he's done to the place. I mean, it's really overgrown, and it's just too much junk on there. I mean, that's not my look, with all them growing stuff and trees and plants and everything. It's just completely overgrown, but that's just my opinion. I don't like what he's done with it, but I wonder what it looks like on the inside, but,
Right. I mean, I'm right there with you as far as the yard goes. The yard looks terrible compared to what it used to look like. If it was me, I would go out there with a bush hog and just run everything over, till it all up, put new grass down, plant new grass, and go from there. You can't even see the house.
Yeah, well, everybody's different, to do what they did, but
I mean, it's not like it's like weeds, you know. Well, it's some of it is, I guess, because you know they're getting older, but they just like a lot of plants and a lot of, you know, they planted all that stuff, you know, and tend to it. And a little, what's that, like little, the little wooden thing, you know, you walk under.
Yeah, trellis.
Yeah, they got one of them there by the front sidewalk. I don't know, man. Just like I was watching them damn videos of me and my third birthday out there riding a bike in that front yard. And just how it looked then compared to what it looked like now. You know, I know you said I think Milt's not doing too well as far as health goes. I wonder how he is doing though.
I don't know.
Should reach out. I've been saying I was going to and just drop my business card at the door and have him call me. I drive by there probably early mornings is when I usually drive by, and nobody's ever up. It's always, you know, around 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:45, and the place is dark with both vehicles in the driveway.
All right, I'm going to go up and get some more coffee and check on the cats and probably go down to 45 for a while until they sign off. You got on the agenda for today? I don't have nothing. I'll probably just hang out. I got some paperwork to do, filing and stuff, and then I guess the Eagles game is on around 4. It's a late game.
All right, I got a amplifier I got to take back to 508 today. I fixed his he had a little six pill bass amplifier, you know, power supply built into it. And he burned up a couple of them bridge rectifiers, them little bridge rectifiers that I kept burning up. So I had a few extra of them, a few extra ones. I said I would give them and put them in there for him, charge him a couple bucks to do it.
Yeah, well, now you could, you know, devote some bench time there and make a few bucks, you know.
Well, that's why I started doing that yesterday. Trying to get back on the train. I got a lot of work to do, man. I'm playing catch up here. You know, some of the stuff that I got here, I've only been paid, you know, half or haven't been paid at all. You know, so to get some of this stuff done, it's some money in my pocket. So I cleaned off my whole bench. You've seen the bench the last few times you've been over here. You couldn't even see the workbench. It's all cleaned off now. Everything's organized, back to where it's supposed to be in its place. So I was able to actually do some work on the bench last night and fix that amplifier.
Yeah, I can see my bench in the other room. I haven't even worked on that bench in a long, long time, man. I've just been doing other stuff, so I'd have to, you know, I need a snow shovel to clear it off.
Yeah, I hear you. Maybe that's what I'll do this morning. I'll work on his domulator, because the domulator itself is done. I just got to get the radio part fixed, because I was having an issue with the band switch and the mode switch and the and that and so on. So we're at to maybe hook that up later and get a radio check from you, Pop. All right, man, I'll let you go. Go do what you got to do. I'll be around. Give me a call later on if you want. I'll probably be on 45 listening in. So W2SDR, you know who it is. KC3JVE, Pennsylvania. I'm clear. I'll see you.
Okay, radio sounds terrific. It really does. You got that really dialed in here on the sideband. It's real loud, just real intense, and sounds great. So catch you later. W2SDR.
All right, man. Yeah, I did make one change. I dropped the low cut from 100 down to 50. That's the only thing I did. So give me a little bit more bottom end. All right, take care, Pop. We'll see you.
Upset.